Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a video that I think I'm going to title The Dougherty Dozen Be Kind Brigade. One of y'all dropped that in my comments, so all credit goes to a really amazing subscriber on that. But the Be Kind Brigade combined with Alicia's recent little rant about how some people just don't choose to be happy, they choose to be miserable, combined with her toxic fans, is kind of the topic of this video. And I also wanted to share a couple of TikToks that I came across when searching the Dougherty Dozen. I want to share with you guys kind of what pops up. You know, what are the top videos over on TikTok. So either way, yeah, if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, tell me if my sound is any different on this video. I put the little, I don't know, it kind of looks like a bunny tail on my mic. So I'm just doing this as a test to see if it changes anything. Is it better, if it's worse? I know that it's a windscreen, but maybe it'll make the sound a little bit smoother. I don't know. I'm not a professional, so let me know how it is down below. But either way, as you guys know, in December, I reviewed some of their TikTok playlists, and the only playlist that I didn't touch on is like the ones of them dancing, and a lot of the ones that focus on food. Like, we know the gig with the food already. I've talked about it as much as I can really talk about it for now. You know, whatever. That's a whole thing. I'm not a dietitian. I'm just someone who can look at some things with a little bit of a logical stance. And that's how I feel about her diet and what the kids eat all the time. Now, there is one playlist that I haven't touched on yet, and there's only one video in it. And we're going to watch that right now because I think that this is telling. I talked before about her income, her expenses, her flex culture, her overconsumption, using single-use plastics all the time. This video is very interesting, so let's watch it and then we'll get into the rest of the video. So let's go through some of these. Most of them are pretty cookie cutter, but she has mortgage, gas, electric, water, septic, which I think is interesting. She pays for a septic system, but has issues with the septic so much that she has to use paper plates and can't even use her own washer and dryer. So that was interesting. Garbage, internet, cell phones, laundry, groceries, Amazon, pets, truck and van. So those are auto payments, co-pays, counseling, student loan, insurance. She has on here that they spend $1,000 a month on Amazon. That's definitely gone up since this video was made in early 2022. We also have retirement for both Josh and Alicia, Netflix, Disney Plus, DirecTV. They have a loan consolidation payment, so that to me is very telling, especially considering now the kind of financial position that they've put themselves in. So these are all credit cards that they have. PayPal, Amazon Prime, Capital One, Kohl's, Lowe's, Target. If you're paying $500 a month as a minimum payment on your store credit cards, you probably have a super, super, super high balance with those cards. And maybe it was just them trying to pay it off. That's another possibility. But $500 a month, most people, when they have a store card, the balance, unless it's something for something big, obviously if you're buying a TV, computers, remodeling your house, that's something totally different. But at a store like Target, most people don't have a balance with Target that's over $2,000. And it continues on. They have a bed payment, haircuts, karate, music lessons, horseback riding, dance, church, subscriptions, apps, R&F, I don't know what that is. Personal assistant, $1,000. I don't think that they have an assistant anymore. Allowance, charity. Charity, you're giving $300 a month. My, how things have changed. Call it $27,000 a month are their outgoing bills. This is not a budget. This is not teaching people how to budget. This is not teaching people who have a fixed income how to budget their money. This is, we spend a bunch of money on dumb shit, we consolidate loans, we have store credit cards, and we don't really need a budget because we make money. This is just listing their bills. This is not budgeting. So I wanted to at least shed some light on that. The thing that's really funny to me is Alicia wanted to come out in that video and say how, you know, people don't choose to be happy. They need to choose happiness. And she's praying for the people who hate her. I did receive a couple of comments that were valid, of course, and I want to address those. Some people were saying maybe she was talking about people on Reddit, maybe she was talking about actual nasty comments that she gets. That could be true. However, she also knows that her stans are going to look to see who's talking about her publicly. They're not going to necessarily comb every comment section. They're going to go to YouTube and see who is publicly discussing the Dougherty Dozen, and she knows that her fans will go defend her in comment sections. When it comes to choosing happiness, I don't need to be labeled like I have some kind of mental health issue just because I have an opinion. Something that Alicia needs to remember is two things can be true at once, okay? I can be a really happy person and still be very opinionated. I can be very content in my life and still be interested in internet culture and things that I see online. I can still be very fulfilled and still be against children being exploited and their privacy not being respected by parents. So to circle back on that, I don't appreciate that video that she put out. I still find it insulting to pray for people who don't like what you've done with your children. I've said this a million times, so I will only mention it briefly. Nobody is bored, nobody's jealous, nobody is obsessed, and most people don't hate Alicia. They just don't like the things that she's doing. Bringing in a bunch of kids to your home and buying them materialistic stuff, filling them with a bunch of sugar while you're slamming down White Claws, which I know now she is, supposedly trying to better herself, and bravo for that. But that's also a very recent change. For the majority of what these kids have witnessed, that is what they were witnessing. While you wanted to use their fetal alcohol syndrome as part of your content, but you also gloat about how much White Claw you drink. You can't claim to genuinely care about your children's safety and then tell everybody where they go to school and film football practice and film other kids without proper consent and tell people what kind of, medical issues they have and talk about birth parents and share tough moments that your kids have. I think some people really subscribe to toxic positivity. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel. I hate toxic positivity. I really do, because what toxic positivity does is tell somebody, ignore all of your other emotions, crumple them up, put them in a bag, and put it in your back pocket, because you need to just look at the glass as half full. Oh, well, you're still living, so that's something that you should be thankful for. Oh, well, you have a job, so you shouldn't complain about your job. Oh, you have a house, so you shouldn't hate your living situation, or you shouldn't vent frustrations about it. You should just choose to be happy because you're, living another day. And while I can partially understand that, we are also very complex beings and have a lot of emotions about a lot of different things in our lives. And I don't appreciate when somebody forces that positivity onto other people around them, whether it's through a screen or in real life. I don't subscribe to toxic positivity. I realize that two things can be true at once. I can be happy and I can still call out bullshit that I see online. That does not make me unhappy. I also have a video coming about the Carter Agency, which the Dougherty Dozen was named on their roster. And this is an influencer agency scam that is going around. So that will be a separate video because it's a little bit of a broader topic. But I usually don't care too much about what Alicia has to say, but that little tangent about her wanting to pray for people just really rubbed me the wrong way, because since I've been covering her, I have never received the amount of vile vocabulary and nasty messages sent my way. Her followers will go to an anonymous email sending site so that it's not their actual email addresses, and they will send me nasty, hateful, cruel messages, so much that now I've just blocked that entire domain so it won't even pop up in my inbox. You want to claim how you put so much positivity out there and everything is sunshine and daffodils, but your fans and stans are some of the most hateful, vile, cruel people that I have ever come across during my entire time on YouTube. And I'm talking about my entire time on YouTube. Way before I was even making videos. Before making videos was even an idea. The Dougherty Dozen fans are vile and cruel. And I'm talking about the actual stans, not all of them, because that would be unfair. But the people that will defend Alicia doing this toxic, problematic stuff, and they will defend it with hateful language, y'all are unhinged. Seek help. Now, this is another example of how Alicia has used her children in order to make herself look like the saint that she thinks that she is. This TikTok shows up when you search Dougherty Dozen over on TikTok. It's one of the top results, very easy to find, and I will be blurring this child's face, but it's just an example of how she consented for her child to be put in front of a camera and have him share this part of his story. And as we know, even if he said okay, this child is way too young to consent, and now this very personal part of his life story is out onto the internet, and it tied back to her content, her wanting her family to be well known, and her wanting to be known as the one that swooped in and saved the day. If you are really swooping in and saving the day, like you claim you are not going to put your child in a seat in front of a camera to have them share this deeply personal story that we're about to listen to. You protect them from that. You allow them to share this if and when they are ready after the age of 18.
First family did they spanked me with spoons.
Only now they're the ones I made here.
And they
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days.
Yelled at me a lot.
Before you've actually left them.
I couldn't do anything about it.
Our oldest
I feel happy because there's a lot of love in this house. A lot of surprises that there was a new room for me. There was balloons, presents. My mom hugs me and kisses me, say I miss you, and she says I love you. And it makes me really feel really good.
Obviously super tough to listen to that, and I also want to, without mentioning the child's name, because as y'all know, I don't focus on her kids, I don't talk about her kids, it's just not what I do. But with this situation, this is also a child that has been the center of a lot of bullying and a lot of really nasty messages over on TikTok. This is a child who has been unfairly thrown into the spotlight because of what Alicia wanted to do. I just want to remind everybody that being online is not the problem. Being a mommy vlogger is not a problem. Okay? Nobody's here to say, oh, you're a mom, you can't vlog. That's never been the thing. At least not for me. What I am saying is situations like this should be highly protected from the internet. Who are you to consent on behalf of your minor child to put them in this seat and have them share these dark personal stories from their childhood. All because this person who owns this YouTube channel years ago did I guess if you want to call it a little documentary on the Dougherty family. And Alicia consented for all of her kids to be shared as a part of this documentary, so that everybody knew how amazing she was.
Jordan is mad at me, so he threw all the toilet paper out the window, giving us this fun, festive Halloween look.
Great question, Kathy. Jordan is currently mad at me because his biological parents did not show up to his birthday party on Friday. So then I rescheduled and said that they could come on their own Monday and do our own party, and they also did not call or show up to that. So, in the world of children in foster care and adoption, when they are angry and upset with their biological parents over something, they tend to take it out on their adoptive parents.
And here we are again sharing struggles that a child is going through while talking about the bio parents not showing up. So, you know, in a way, throwing shade at the bio parents, like, oh, they didn't show up, so I had to deal with the tantrum that happened afterwards. So many of these situations, it all comes back to oversharing. You cannot look at the things that, at least that I've been focused on, and say that they are anything but an issue with oversharing. Privacy, security, concern for these kids being kept safe. And she wants to sit there and make herself sound like this uplifting, positive person, and all that she has done is step on other people's toes the entire time that she has been climbing her way to the top of this social media anthill, whatever the hell she's trying to stand on. She has screwed over Just the Bells mom. She has done this to other influencer moms. She is not a nice person. Based on all other accounts from other creators, Alicia is a very mean-spirited person. She is very self-serving, and she will absolutely step on your entire back just to put herself on the notch above you. And people like this, I talk about it a lot, karma is a very, very real thing. And once you sit back and see karma start to work, it's a really beautiful thing as long as it's working fairly, which with karma it usually does. And never forget that Alicia Dougherty was also part of an MLM. And I think that this also speaks to her willingness to take advantage of others, put out toxic positivity constantly, do whatever it takes to make sure that she is at the top. She kind of looks at family vloggers as her pyramid, in her pyramid scheme. And everyone else is below her. So as long as you're below her, you're okay. You don't have to be gone, but as long as you're below her, that's what really matters. And when you compare that to her being in an MLM and trying to take advantage of people financially and, you know, mislead them and tell them that they just need to be hopeful and work harder and work smarter, all of this makes sense. It all makes perfect sense. One other thing that I wanted to share with you guys was a screenshot that I was sent over on Instagram. Going back to her fans and stans that are so oddly obsessed with her children, somebody asked, what kind of sandwiches do you make for the kids? And one of the Dougherty Dozen super fans chimed in and literally listed all of the kids, what kind of sandwich they get, the exact ingredients, and shared it with this other follower. If you know that kind of information, you are far too invested. Like, why do you even have that in your mental Rolodex? It's hard enough to remember people in my own family, their birthdays and anniversaries and, you know, whatever. And you're sitting here able to list off exactly which kid gets which sandwich and what ingredients are in there. Nobody will ever convince me that the Dougherty Dozen fans are some of the most overly invested, hostile, and biased group of fans on the entire social media. Y'all will literally defend anything this woman does, and that's why commentary channels are important. The Be Kind Brigade is vile. Y'all are cruel. Now, when I say I can actually take a lot, I can. For the most part, I let it roll off my back because I realize that these people don't know me. I don't share my life, so y'all have nothing to really react to except the commentary videos that I put out. And I do that for a reason, obviously. When people want to send these nasty things to me on behalf of Alicia, it is just such a reminder that y'all are literally sending harassment and bullying language to a random commentary channel that you don't know a whole lot about on behalf of a mommy vlogger that you don't know. You know what she's told you, but you don't know her. Some of these people on the internet seem like the nicest, most wholesome people, and then when they get exposed, then everyone's like, oh my God, I never saw that coming. Don't ever be surprised that someone is not as wholesome as you think they are, especially when they make it their brand. When someone makes it their brand to be really wholesome and super positive and everything is just, confetti glitter, I raise eyebrows at that, and I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. It's just my way of doing things. It's not healthy to be, this like toxic positivity movement. And it's also not fair that Alicia tries to label emotions and reacting to public content as somebody having some kind of like mental health crisis where they are just having a tantrum and they didn't choose to be happy. As a reminder, people can be very happy and also be very opinionated at the same time. I just so happen to have a channel where I share those opinions and I allow y'all to have a community to talk to each other and sound off in the comments. That is the purpose of my channel. That's always been the purpose of my channel, and it will continue to remain the same. So either way, the Be Kind Brigade needs to just relax for a little while. I think that y'all are in for an awakening because this might be the beginning of the end of the Dougherty Dozen. And as far as the end, I'm not saying they're going to go off the platform, but as far as this high rate of success that Alicia has had, a lot of her own followers are seeing, what we've been talking about for months, and it's starting to be a little bit of a more divided community, if that makes sense. Hey guys, I had a bit of a little afterthought when I was finishing up this video. I also wanted to share with you because I know some of y'all are going to probably mention it to me if I know my audience well enough. And Alicia uploaded this folding laundry video. So basically she uploads this laundry video. It has 2.5 thousand likes to 3.7 thousand dislikes. Almost 2 hours of her folding laundry. The beginning of it, she washes some dishes, does some other stuff, then she goes into the laundry folding. When I say there is a mountain of clothing, there's no other way to describe it. So I know that some people get upset with me for talking about chores and her kids. At this point, like, what do you want me to say? Oh, her kids shouldn't have chores? The older kids should absolutely be folding their own laundry. I don't care. I think that teaching kids responsibilities is vital to making them functioning adults. And I don't have to be a parent to have that viewpoint. I don't. I'm a logical thinking person teaching children some responsibilities that are age appropriate. Now, do I think that a 4-year-old should be doing the laundry? No, absolutely not. But do I think a 15, 16, 17-year-old can be doing their own laundry? Absolutely. You can fold clothes by the age of, I don't know, you guys sound off in the comments down below. Is asking like a 12 or 13-year-old, is that the age where you can start expecting them to actually fold their own clothing and put it away? Tell me how you feel. I think that it's ridiculous. Not only does she have this many clothes, and I know that 12 kids is a lot, but she's constantly buying more clothes. So if you're going to be stuck in the mountain of laundry, I would stop buying so many clothes for these kids because you're the one stuck folding them. And if you are going to buy them, you know, all new outfits for every single, you know, day of the month, then teach them how to fold their own laundry. These are the comments that I make that absolutely set off Dougherty Dozen fans. So I just want to see in the comment section if they get upset with me. I say, hey, you know, maybe kids once they're like 14 should be helping to fold their own laundry. And I'm just, you know, a miserable gutter rat who has nothing better to do because I'm jealous of Alicia. So these are the kinds of just like hypocritical things. But I wanted to throw this in there because, and on top of it, expecting your audience to watch you fold laundry for 2 hours is absolutely just entitled arrogance. I don't know who is going to watch this much of literally mind-numbing content. But either way, her fans do it, and that's just the world that we live in, and I'm here to talk about it, so I will let the video close out. I wanted to share these few TikToks with you guys and kind of close out my thoughts, because that's all that I can do. You know, I come here, I vent to you guys, and then we move on. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all allowing me to talk about what's on my mind. And, you know, it's all good. That's what I'm here for. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.